Welcome to Pennsylvania in Focus. I'm Alan Wooten, managing editor for the East Coast of the Center Square. Today, a Republican delegate's prediction for November 5. Joining us is the Center Square's Anthony Hennon, reporter for Pennsylvania. Anthony, good to see you today.
Good to be here, Alan.
Charlie Gerow, speaking with our Greg Bishop on the floor of the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee this week, forecasts perhaps a big win for Donald Trump on November 5. Your thoughts in reaction to that?
I think anybody's guess is as good as mine. I think especially in a state like Pennsylvania, it is very dangerous to make predictions here, especially in a presidential race. And in the past decade in politics, Pennsylvania has seen some very significant changes in all corners, essentially. But Gerow is, he's very, very plugged in, at least on, politically across the state. He ran for the Republican gubernatorial bid a couple years ago here. He's a veteran delegate showing up to Republican national conventions. But, he's sounding very confident here. He spoke with Greg Bishop of the Center Square at the convention and said potentially it's a landslide in Pennsylvania. Trump is going to do very, very well. He's been arguing even before the shooting that Trump would probably win Pennsylvania and handily. Right now, it's looking like the polls are supporting that. But at the same time, these are still very narrow polls. We have, some months to go before the election. So, grading his prediction, I don't want to wade into that. But, it's in the realm of possibility. A landslide, maybe not, but a firm win, could honestly go either way at this point.
And the pattern would be so unusual. There was 28 years between George Bush winning, the first George Bush winning in 1988, and then Trump winning in 2016. So not necessarily, I hear the slam dunk notion here, but wow, that's we're talking about really reversing a pattern if this comes to fruition.
Yeah, I think Pennsylvania gets interesting on this because, Republicans are still very wary of mail-in voting, and that's been a problem for Republicans across Pennsylvania in recent years. We're looking at the Philadelphia Collier counties flipping from Republican to Democrat. We're looking at the fast-growing Hispanic population up in Northeast Pennsylvania, especially around Allentown, Hazleton, these areas. Primarily, mostly Dominicans coming in from the New York City area. Reading is another Hispanic hub. Western Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh is now very strongly progressive. Its suburbs are still, Republican-leaning or still at least in the game here. Rural Pennsylvania is still solidly Republican, but at the same time, those population numbers are shrinking. So it could really come down to who can really rally their base to get them out to vote, even more than convincing the other side. There's a lot of factors in Pennsylvania. Last election time, Biden only cleared it by 50, 60,000 votes, I think. It's very tight. Things could go either way. But I think whoever does pull off Pennsylvania, they have a very strong probability that they'll take, the entire election.
So let's play along with the prediction that he's made. Let's say it is a large-scale win for Donald Trump in Pennsylvania. How does that affect things down the ballot? Are there some people who could really, really, really use that? Or where does that tenor come in? Yeah,
clearly the biggest potential win here candidate-wise is Dave McCormick running for U.S. Senate against longtime sitting Senator Bob Casey. The latest polls are looking like Trump is still polling better than Casey. Casey is still, I believe, the last poll was something like 7 or 8 percentage points behind Casey, whereas Trump is a few points up on Biden in Pennsylvania. So McCormick could really use a bump if Trump can provide it. But even then, it's just that problem. Casey's been such a long time senator in the state. His father was a long-time political presence in Pennsylvania. McCormick does not have a huge name recognition yet, so he's going against a lot. He would really need everything breaking right for him, even if Trump does win, to get over the fence against Casey. Other down ballot ones, it's possible here, but clearly the focus here is on McCormick, not only for the statewide situation, but also Republican potential control in Congress on the federal level.
Yeah, I was going to say, what are you hearing, or are you hearing anything as far as how much effort, I'm sure there's a lot of effort to try and get behind McCormick nationally so that they can get the Senate. But is his race as important as any other, or kind of slotted behind somebody a little bit?
If he's slotted behind somebody, he's at number 2 or number 3. Even, months ago, we'd see other state senators coming into the state, or other big, political influencers, for lack of a better word here, trying to campaign with McCormick and pump him up. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. We're already seeing predictions that this will be the most expensive Senate race in Pennsylvania in history. You look at political ad spending; it's already, You can't even turn on a streaming service without seeing a commercial for McCormick or for Casey. So, there's a lot of focus here. If the Republicans can't get Pennsylvania, they already lost one open Senate seat to John Fetterman. There's a lot going on here. Pennsylvania is very pivotal. Either party, if they don't get Pennsylvania, it just makes it even more important for them to pull in other states, Wisconsin, Arizona, Michigan. Yeah, there's a lot riding on Pennsylvania. There's a way to do it without Pennsylvania, but it's an extremely difficult thing.
And fair point there to Fetterman flipped a seat, and they're looking to flip it back this go around. Fair point indeed. Anthony, thanks for joining us today. Listeners can keep up with this story and more at The Center Square.